Hello guys and welcome back to Brit's Bollywood. Now before the break, I asked you a question and the answer is Jism. Talking about Jism, Sunny Leon is doing Jism 2 and she's also doing Ragini MMS 2, which is an Ekta Kapoor film. And talking about Ekta Kapoor, she's the best businesswoman in the business because she just sold Kya Super Cool Hai Hum for 21.6 crore. Which means profit, and it's a higher price than the Dirty Picture as well, which was sold for 18 crore and made so much money for Anil Tandani, who's married to Raveena Tandon. Yeah, that is like the big news. But the best part is that they have the best PR machinery. Everyone tweets their songs. I don't know how they do it, but every big star, everyone talks about it. It's always trending. So what is the secret? It's about relationships. And Ekta has the best relationships and kudos to her. What can we do? Welcome to London Festival.
Thank you very much. Very well.
Okay, first of all, I've got you a gift.
Oh, thank you. Oh, can I drink it?
Yes, you can. The last time I actually met him, he said he loves the British milk.
I do. I love milk.
So if some fan just turns up in Bombay and just knocks on the door and says, I'm here from England and I've just brought you milk.
If it's fresh, I'd be very grateful.
If you bring Saif some milk, it has to be British.
No. European will do it well. Thank you for remembering.
Absolutely.
It's very kind.
Saif, so the film is called Cocktail.
Yes.
And I think the world's going to run out of names for films because when I was just like doing Wikipedia, for example, you type in Cocktail, you get Tom Cruise. Then you type in Cocktail or Saif, and then you get your film.
Right.
Where did the name come from?
I think it was a working title when we were starting it. And Imtiaz had written a script, and he had always named it Cocktail.
Sure.
And the reason for that was because the film is actually about three friends.
Sure.
And how complicated their lives get together. And the cocktail is their personalities mixed up and put together in the same house.
How would you, what would be the Desi name for it?
I don't know, we tried to do that. I think film titles also go through a trend, you know, where earlier they had films like, you know, Lahu Ke Do Rang and slightly these dramatic titles. And then they became a little more poetic and titles from songs like, you know, usually lyrics like
yeah,
Kuch Kuch Hota Hai or whatever, things like this. And now again, I think we're having like this kind of one word, slightly anglicized title. Now the idea is to have a title that also sounds quite modern and quite, you know,
of course, with
it in terms of timing. And Cocktail is that.
Now, talking about the director of the film, you did Being Cyrus with him.
Yes.
And so how did this come about? Did you just like, how was he selected to direct this film? Because Imtiaz wrote the script.
See, I was working on Agent Vinod.
Sure.
And Dinu said, listen, I need to make a few of these calls. And I'm going to, you know, want to make this film with Homie, with Imran Khan in the lead, with Deepika. And then it took a while to get hold of Imran. And Kareena and Imran were filming together in Vegas for a film. And I said, that is he doing the movie or not, you know? And he said, oh, I don't know, a little bit about the script and a little bit up and down. And he wasn't sure basically if he wanted to do it.
Sure.
At which point I called Dinu and said that I'd like to do it. And that's how it happened.
Of course.
And then we got hold of, I mean, Homie was on anyway.
Yeah. And then you had the dates available and you just went with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was all pitch perfect.
Yeah.
Now tell us, how do you respond? I mean, as you said, when you came here last time, you spoke about how media behaves every time. Like, you know, before Agent Vinod, after Agent Vinod, they're like, actors should play it safe and they shouldn't, you know, so is that, I mean, this naturally comes at a time when it's your next release.
Right.
But it's not on purpose that, oh, you're going back to your lover boy image or anything else.
No, not really. I think the idea is to do different stuff. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, we tried doing Agent Vinod and then this film came along. And I think we'll continue to do different things, but I'm just really happy. I think when you get something right, it's not all to do with you being very clever and getting everything right. The audience has to just like some things,
of course,
and some things it doesn't like. So you keep presenting, hopefully, new ideas. Some will go down really well, and some won't go down at all.
Absolutely. I mean, especially I was looking at tweets, for example, on just the film in general, and it's given this power to people to say anything they want at any time. And I read a particular point, which I thought I should bring it to your attention, was that, oh, Saif should play the roles that he's, you know, obviously his age, which I thought was quite like, it didn't make sense how audience see things or how they come out with this stuff.
But I mean, Twitter and the internet is a forum where people can share all kinds of ideas.
Absolutely.
And that's got very little actually to do with the box office.
Yeah,
because when people see a movie,
they see the content.
Yes, they see the content, and it's got a collective kind of energy. It's a story that's been made. So it's a different experience. Where if you ask somebody for their opinion, in life they'll give you very many diverse opinions.
But I mean, it doesn't ever bother you. You just believe in the script, and you just always go ahead with it.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about the music in the film, because I think, I mean, personally for me, I've got it in my car. I think it's the album of the year. Everybody's given it 4.5, 5 out of 5. So how was it for you when you heard the music first? I mean, because you've got a song from Pakistan, Jugni, you've got Angrezi beat, you've got a couple of devotional songs, and really like poppy, light numbers.
Again, I have to give the credit for the music completely to my partner in production, Dinesh Vijan, who worked very hard with Pritam to come out with a really different album. And there were many tracks on it that he was totally convinced about. My favorite by far is Jugni, because of just many elements. I just love the track. But I wish I could actually talk to him about the music, because everything from recording in Dubai and getting these Pakistani artists together, and or working with Pritam till ridiculous hours of the morning for many days at a stretch, to come out with something special. I mean, even Honey Singh, and he would tell me quite funny stories about Honey Singh, who apparently rolls quite a lot like 50 Cent. He says yo-yo a lot. He calls himself Yo-Yo Honey Singh.
Yeah, well, it's a great name. Now, tell us, I mean, obviously looking at the poster, somebody fart in this poster.
How'd you know that?
I can just tell, because you were like, you got this embarrassing face.
Fart?
Yes, of course.
You can say fart.
Absolutely.
I think somebody passed wind in this. Who do you think it was?
Well,
look at the expressions.
I think yours is the most embarrassed look out from. They're just like, haha, that smells really bad, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was me.
It was him. See, we finally got it. So it's that lovely farting poster. Okay, so any special message for the audience? Anything at all? This film is smashing. You should watch it. Shall I say it?
Yeah, well, this film has been made with a lot of care and love, and with your entertainment in mind. So I hope you enjoy it, because then we'll make lots of money.
Yeah. How? So no, it's a fact. Do you know, every time you come here, I just love your honesty.
Thank you. Thank you.
What brings out the honesty in you?
I think I'm also driven to give an interesting interview, and if you're boring and safe, then it's a very dull interview.
But you are safe, aren't you?
Mildly. No, that would fall under the boring category of a joke that's been done many times.
Is Saif being safe?
But still, yes.
Do you believe in being safe?
Yes, most certainly.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for the young generation, the message is be safe always.
Absolutely.
In whatever are you safe in the film?
Not at that point, because we're sitting on the roof.
Lastly, what do you think?
Randeep was passing.
Okay, so I always ask you something which obviously you have to tell me and not anyone else in any interview. So I'm sure people are going to ask you many questions, but what was the moment that you thought that this will be your best scene in the film or your best performance, and how many takes did it take?
I mean, when you read a script, you know in that film what the best scene is.
Yeah, what the core is.
Yeah. And there were actually quite a few in this film. There's about 2 or 3, which is quite a lot.
Yep.
And the USP of it is the dialogue that Imtiaz has written.
Sure.
Because it's the way, I feel it's like if you give a guitar player a notation, if you write down a solo and say these are the notes, and then he learns them, and then the way you play them, the scope for playing something great is there.
Yeah.
And similarly with these dialogues and the situation. So it takes a while to learn the lines because they're not normal lines. Yeah. But having learned them, I mean, it sounds stupid to say learn the lines. I mean, everyone has to learn lines. But Imtiaz's dialogues take me longer than anyone else's I've found because they're not regular.
Sure. Are they more natural?
They are more natural, even with ums and ahs and pauses built into them.
The beats, yeah.
So really interesting to do. But if you manage to pull it off, I mean, there's one scene where I'm trying to have a conversation with Diana, and I'm making fun of her, so I'm pretending to be this love doctor, as well as this, you know, high, squeaky girl.
Okay.
And I'm, you know, playing both characters in the conversation. So that's a bit of an item to kind of perform. I wouldn't say it's the best scene, but it's one of the more entertaining ones.
So what are we expecting for Illuminati films next?
Illuminati is going to, I think, do a love story and maybe a horror film, and I'm not sure at the moment.
Do you think you speak about your producing partner a lot? Do you think he's going to direct a film soon?
I think he'd like to, and he's quite good at all aspects of, I think he's passionate about film.
Would you ever direct a film?
I don't know, maybe, but I feel there's some things I don't understand about direction. I'd like to maybe co-direct a film, if that makes sense.
There you go, you got Dinesh and yourself, and I think you have a team ready.
Maybe,
Yeah?
but I might frighten him to have to co-direct with me.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And lastly, when are you getting married?
I mean, I think at the end of the year, but more specifically, we should talk about in a more personal interview. Because I don't want to overshadow Cocktail with my, you know, personal life, which is just so interesting. That people might say, forget the movie, when's he getting married? Because that's so much more interesting. I have to somehow keep the focus on my professional exploits away from my so exciting tabloid personal life. But
I totally agree.
That's the problem.
Thank you so much. Guys, that was some exciting stuff, and we're talking about some revenue generation when it comes to films, right? And which actor, so this is the question that you have to answer, it's quite a hard one, which actor, and it's a Hollywood actor, who's actually acted in the maximum number of blockbusters, and if you combine the money that he's actually earned at the box office, he's the highest grossing. And let me tell you, it's not a George Clooney, Leonardo, Hrithik, or anyone. This is going to surprise you. He mostly comes as a character actor, but he is brilliant. And let me tell you something, he's British. Answers on Asad at zingtv.co.uk. In the meantime, I'm going to jump on that boat and I'll see you guys later. Bye.